A super tight one. And hopefully again, no 1-stars, as I feel like we want to see some more 3-stars, right?
We sure do, and I'm excited to cast this final one with you, Itsu. You bring the brains, I'll bring the volume, and together this will be a match to remember. Hamu is moving in with Super Dragons to start this thing off for ALLEXCEED. He's got a Flame Flinger up in the top corner, just did a little bit of poking with that balloon to check around the top side, but with that Flinger grabbing the first air defense nice and easy, expect to see him pivoting toward another corner to try to get another air defense down before he moves in with these dragons. The left corner is what he's going to be aiming for. He's also got an enemy Archer Queen a little bit deeper in the base over on that left side, so he's going to commit the King as well to try to help take her out nice and early on. Warden to protect the balloons and these big super dragons, which get quite a bit of a spread early on. He pops the Eternal Tome, and with one rage spell out early, he's going to try to charge in hard and fast.
Yeah, and he's trying to really make sure that this cut exists where the Super Dragons are pathing towards the Town Hall guaranteed, because this is where they have to go. There is no blimp whatsoever to save the day. He has to get the Town Hall, and that's exactly what he's doing. But maybe there were a bit too many of the Super Dragons there, because they're taking a lot of damage. Right now, they're just going through all of this like it's nothing. We have 2 Super Dragons connecting to that monolith, and this base just disappears in a lot of flames just being thrown at this base.
Absolutely crushed on the top end. Great timing on that skeleton spell going down to protect them from the monolith as well. It's just a little bit of tricky play here in the center bottom side of the space, where an air sweeper has been just providing so much great protection for that multi-inferno. I think that ultimately is going to wind up getting all the super dragons finished off in the end, and it's going to rely upon the heroes to try to get the cleanup to finish this thing off. Toss the shield there, and the Royal Champion's going to give us one more little shot in the arm to try to power through along the bottom end. And actually, you know what? I guess a couple Super Dragons have survived until the last line of defenses again. The final air defense is going to get annihilated, and with plenty of time left, Hamu has just summited over the walls. Look, the Flame Flinger didn't even deploy, Itsu.
I mean, this is just how fast the attack was as well. I mean, it's not like an overkill, but as well, it's a fast attack. The Flame Flinger did not even open in time. This quick this attack was, and especially now for them, this is really important, as this was one of the players with the lower hit rates over the tournament so far. But it's all about showing up in those important moments, and this is exactly what he did as an opener attacker for his team. And we have talked about this. They have averaged 11 stars over this third stage over so far. And on the other side, Inquisition have averaged so far 12 stars. So with the first 3-star in, ALLEXCEED is looking really good, with Inquisition now up next, and we see a recall Titan Smash attack.
Up top, it is a hot entry for Simon. Finds the enemy king with his queen and will take him down for a quick regicide as he moves toward the town hall. Checking the edges here real quick to protect those healers from any seeking air mines that might be on the outer edges, but not really getting very deep into that top compartment. Headhunter was very helpful at taking that king down alongside the queen. And it's an easy clear entry from the top thanks to that super wall break, cracking into that compartment. Another really good coconut moon there. Moves in but does not find a seeking air mine. Queen gets the early lock out of the town hall, and the first star will be claimed as he sets up for the Electro Titan Smash to follow up. Still is holding on to one of those healers because he probably intends to recall after he clears this top compartment, and we'll be able to pivot to another lane of the base, maybe over on the left side where that enemy Archer Queen's defending. As he gets ready to heat up. Oh, hold on. I guess he's going to go all the way to the multi-target Inferno? No, okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's always tricky. If you recall the queen as she's moving, it's really likely that you're missing either the healer or the queen. So you try to wait until that she's, like, staying somewhere, but then you have to recall really quick. Otherwise, there might be too much damage. As he's now pushing with those titans into the base, he can just jump into the core, open up pretty much the entire base, and have the king with the P.E.K.K.A. from the siege barracks funneling this outside. As the Titans are going in, and the Warden ability should be used any second now as he is approaching the core, but he's delaying it for now, which I think is a good decision.
CC's pulled in. It's going to be triple Ice Golem, and that can really slow things down over there as the Ice Golems start to pop, but he did get a little bit of a stack damage thanks to the Electro Titans. Won't be slowed down quite so much. Multi-target Infernos are not the worst thing to have to worry about with Electro Titans, as he's really quickly just powering through this core thanks to those Rage spells. Defenses have Rage 2 as well, though, and that's a nicely timed freeze by Simon to catch that enemy Queen off guard. He's powering along the top side, tossing that spear out with the Royal Champion. 1 minute left for the cleanup, and it looks like a 3-star follow-up is coming from Inquisition.
Wow, we have already talked about the first attack of ALLEXCEED, which was an insane overkill and really fast one. But take a look at this one as well. Every single hero being alive. He has the Queen ability as well to use, and so many troops survived. What an incredible start to this match. Both teams are starting off strong. Both teams are starting off with 3 stars. And this is exactly what we want to see. With even the P.E.K.K.A., the final P.E.K.K.A. from the Siegebergs surviving. And that was a really beautiful attack. It's now back to ALLEXCEED, and the entire match is tied up again.
Just love to point this out that Simon did use that final super wall breaker at the very end to get a little bit of splash damage on one of the exterior buildings. If we do wind up going down to a complete tie on stars and percentage, the final tiebreaker is time, and whichever team had the quicker attacks will ultimately win. We did have one war earlier today, as Carbon had mentioned, that was decided by a single building. So if it gets down to the seconds that matter, Simon might have just saved his team a couple of seconds with that quick deploy. Luca will be the next to attack, as we are now tied up 3 stars to 3 stars in this clutch war where survival is on the line. Both of these teams do have a 1-win, 2-loss record. And as soon as either of them loses 3 times, they will be eliminated from the Clash of Clans World Championship. Neither of them want that, to be sure. And so it's up to Luca to try to keep his team up and above the competition. Now with a Flame Flinger out the right corner, setting up for an Electro Dragon assault this time. Can you give us a little bit of an insight, Itsu, as to why someone might choose Electro Dragons over the Super Dragons? Is it mostly just the Chain Lightning value, or is there something else to think about there?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the chain lightning value, which is the key thing for this strategy. A lot of times still, like, as well, I guess it's personal preference sometimes as well. That's at least how it feels like, with both dragons being pretty similar. But overall, we have the beginning, the setup started with the Flinger on the far right side. Let's see if he's going to use maybe the Valkyrie or something to distract that mortar. But we have those Electro Dragons starting, as the Queen is really nicely funneling them into the middle. And there is no chains in the beginning to get to those towers, so it's not getting activated too early. And so far, this looks really good. But the Electro Dragons are going back to the inside. The Tornado Trap is getting triggered earlier. This is not doing anything to them. Now we see the Rage. There goes the Freeze. And he should have a perfect warn ability moving further into the base.
Enemy Rage Tower is activated. Got to give a shout out to the MVP on defense for this new Town Hall. These Rage Towers are so tough to deal with, but the Chain Lightning value is working really well through the core of the base. Those tightly compacted defenses are just getting shocked to bits. Still, the lightning is raining down, and that means Electro Dragons are dying. And in the core, even though there has been a lot of offensive damage to dump in there, the defenses have done their job too, and it's going to be a very tight finish here for Luca, who has just been taking a hammering blow into the middle here. His Queen does survive up on the top side with the healers intact, but she has had to have her ability forced, and Luca's E-Drags did not manage to take down the enemy Eagle Artillery. That is going to cause some problems, as on top of that, there still is a Monolith to contend with. Super Minions over on the right side give a little bit more cavalry support for this Archer Queen, as she gets another Rage spell to try to take down that enemy King as well. It is a really tight finish here, Itsu, but it's looking like Luca will pull ahead. Ability pop for the Royal Champion over on the left side, and the collapse on the end is going to be clean. Plenty of spell and hero and troops left for an easy swag finish from Luca, which I was a little bit worried about, I'll be completely honest, but he just really came in over the top in the last few seconds there.
Yeah, really strong attack, and I think always those attacks, they look, I think in the middle of the attack you just think like, oh, this is turning out really bad, this will never work, especially when those Electro Dragons are going down near the core. But then you're remembering, wait a second, the strongest thing in an army is always the hero, so they can typically finish off a lot of bases, especially if they have access to those key defenses, as Luca did in that recent attack. So, well, up to the next attack, because so far ALLEXCEED is being 2 out of 2, and this now is the highest hit rate player for Inquisition, with Einstein playing the Queen Judge Lado, his favorite strategy, and he's still playing that, as far as I know, in Legends. So let's see if he can show that off in this match, where it's a really important one for those two teams.
Slow start for Einstein, just making sure everything is picture perfect for this deploy. Gets a coconut loon through, but doesn't catch any seeking air mines in the top corner. Queen will get an easy snipe at some of these buildings along the edge, and even gets a little skeleton shield in there to try to catch some monolith shots. He does have a couple of storages that he's going to have to get through at least one of before he can get the lock over onto the monolith, but the skeletons are doing their job despite there being a Tesla trap or two right next to the monolith to try to shut them down. Slow going so far on defense, and with a rage up now, Einstein is going to be cleared for a landing as he paths through the top side. Does catch a seeking air mine. Happy news for him as he sets up for the Laloon to follow.
Yeah, where's the Queen going next, though? That's the big question. I think he wants her to go in. At least that's how it looks like. I'm not sure if he wants her to go to the outside. Maybe turn buildings invisible, but let's see what he's deciding to do. She's following now to the outside. Town Hall should not be activated. That would be really bad, but the Loon does not do that. The Tesla, though, is getting healed back up again. Now the question is, what is up next for this Queen? Is she going back after the Wizard Tower? And yes, she is. So I think everything looks fine.
Okay. Had me a little bit worried with the Queen pathing there, but all's good as long as she can make her way back in. That little wall's going to help her as well. Oh, look out. We've got rocket loons. Need a quick response there, and Einstein does drop the poison to slow them down and finish them off. It's going to be ice golems as well coming out, and thank his lucky stars that that loon earlier did not activate the town hall, because it is not going to be firing away at her until she is ready to attack it first. Stone Slammer moving into support, and we'll be able to finish off that scatter shot over in there on the right side. A few Barbarians going to join the fray to chop it to bits. With the Town Hall claim, that's going to be the first star, but we are running very low on time. It's only 1 and 10. We have got to go awfully quick with this Laloon to follow up.
Yeah, but Lalo is one of the quickest follow-up strategies there is. It's just crazy how fast you can take down a base, which always surprises me, especially if you can keep your Queen alive, working non-stop alongside with this Lalo. He's going against the Sweeper, but the Queen should be able to take it out. There goes the Queen ability, but she's avoiding the Sweeper for now. The Warn ability goes off, and he has only a couple of loops for the reinforcement, but this Sweeper might mess things up, especially now with everything moving into the scatter.
Yeah, that rage is a little bit of an awkward placement. I know he probably wanted to get in there a little bit faster, but I think he will manage to come over the top and finish him off. Even with the Tesla farm popping up over on the left side, that is not going to be enough to stop these balloons with a healer army still supporting that Queen. She has just done her job and can go home happy. 18 seconds left, but the cleanup is going to be easy with only one more building in the center and no walls to stop her. The Queen is making a last charge with so many balloons. I can't even count them all. It's to fire away, and the castle has fallen. Einstein has proven his theorem, and Inquisition can gain another 3-star as a result.
What is happening with this match? I mean, both teams at least a little bit struggled with the latest matches and getting a lot of 3-stars, but both of those teams are starting off with 6 stars each in their first 2 attacks, so this is really impressive to watch. And now it's all about the next few attacks, because both teams are being tied up right now when it comes down to stars and percentage, and Kazuma is up next with having 3 different targets to attack. Stefan, Einstein or Fabian is going to be the defender in this next one.
Find out shortly, but I was given a lot of credit to Kazuma earlier as being one of the strongest attackers in this lineup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this Laloon shapes up. He's got the 5 healers ready to send on in. No recall spell this time, so he's going to hard commit to whatever lane of attack he chooses to go for. Both the King and Queen up at the top side going to get a little bit of funneling done before they are able to move in against that first air defense. King is going to get the shot to finish it off. Wall breaks into the top left compartment, and it kind of seems like a little bit of a dead end there, but rolling through with a log launcher as well to support. The Queen will have access to quite a few buildings here. She's going to have her ability force, though. Kazuma is taking a lot of damage on that Queen very early on, and the log launcher is getting pummeled. It's not rolling maybe half as far as he had hoped, and the King is just going to be stuck on the top side against a raged up multi-inferno and Expo firing away at him. Did he get the value he needed out of this dive early on, Itsu?
No, I feel like he did not get the value, especially if you're diving in like this. You want to get at least the Rage Tower out if you can take down the defense around it, because this multi-fire tower near the center can still be raged up again if this Rage Tower is not going down. And this is then a really big problem for any ladder. We have seen now plenty of times how quick loons can go down when there is, well, a Rage multi-phone tower right next to it. Wonderful, really nice wall break to get that queen access to the core. But the question is, what is next? Like, what is this queen going to do as soon as she has taken down the eagle and the clan castle? Because as soon as that is happening, I feel like she's kind of stuck inside the middle of the base, and everything is relying now on this Lalo, and he has to face still all 4 defending heroes with a multi-phone tower near the town hall as well.
Oh, that Phoenix came perilously close to finishing off the Rage Tower, but ultimately left it up. And that is going to be a raged up multi to have to worry about on the back end unless this queen can finish the job. Her ability has already popped, though, and she is eliminated. That monolith has just obliterated her, and Kazuma's got to hope to make sure that this 2-star can come in clean now. With Loon's pathing right over to the town hall, it's going to be an Eternal Tome to pop, and the balloons will get the job done there for 2. But he's going to have a lot of percentage to push back up, and not many spells left to dump onto this raid to try to finish it off. There's just no balloons left, Itsu.
Yeah, no balloons left, and this is like really the problem with this Lado. I feel like it is really not easy to pull this off, and he has gotten a decently high percentage, but this is going to be the first defense in this match with this opening with the lock launcher just not getting the value he was looking for. So really unfortunate, but well, it is what it is, and this now means Inquisition needs to take advantage of this, because I mean, he's getting way higher percentage than I thought, but getting... wait, no.
No,
is this...
way, no. What
wait,
the?
what?
No way! No way! What? Kazuma just pulled that off! The Man of Steel has come back from absolutely nothing! Itsu! We were spelling out his death note, and he was ready to kill us with a blast from the past. He just obliterated that last tower.
I mean, that both of those defenses are being literally 0 hit points, and the red mine was on its way. I mean, the red mine flew towards the warden, and somehow this... Are you kidding me? Okay, not the first defense in this match. I have not said anything. I mean, are you kidding me? What was that? But, well, Inquisition is up next, and I feel like if they have watched this defense, they are going to be kind of mad about it, because those are like the things which can really break your mental if the other team is getting 3 stars like this, where you already cannot celebrate, like, let's go, the opening did not go his way. It is going to be a defense, yes, high percentage, but it's a defense. We take those, and then at the end, it's like the warden with literally 0 hit points clutching it out. So that was crazy, but hey, we have the next attack, and this one is going to be a Queen Charge Super Barbarian attack versus this base of Arazi.
Well, if either of those last 2 spells had been wasted, that would not have been a 3-star for Kazuma. He had no wiggle room at all for that final deploy. But a 3-star is a 3-star nonetheless, and that is exactly why he's known for being the best. Mark from Inquisition has to try to go toe-to-toe now against this incredibly impressive lineup and show us something at least as impressive as what we just saw there. Log Launcher going to be rolling in through the top left side now at that 11 o'clock position, ready to try to support these other 2 heroes as we get set up for this Electro Titan smash through this top lane, holding on to that jump spell to be able to hop over these walls and help that queen out along the bottom. If she can make it all the way to the town hall and get a few pop shots off, or maybe even get some damage in against that monolith, that would be really great. Free spell to support that Log Launcher as well, and it's going to be a dicey entry here, Itsu.
Yes, it is indeed. With the queen, keep charging forward. The pathing towards the town hall is set, but the problem really is that, well, the monolith went down quickly, so that's not big as of a problem anymore. But there's the first Black Mine. Queen is getting raged up again. She has her abilities, so she should be fine. But 18 Super Barbarians with a lot of power on the back end, is that going to be enough?
Smashing through. I was giving a little too much credit to the Electro Titans. You're right. This is mostly a Super Barbarian army, and here they come over on the right side corner. They're catching the notice of that Tesla duo popping up over on the right side, but with the Royal Champion to help out, knocking those defenses down. It looks like he's clear on the top right. He's going to get an invis now to his own queen so that the healers have a chance to top her back off. And this is just still a pretty scary bottom right section here with lots of point defenses and a Barbarian King to bolster the defenses. But I think Mark is going to be able to do it. He's got 43 seconds left, so no problem on time. And with 2 hero abilities left to deploy, this is going to be another 3-star. Itsu, we are seeing total perfection across the board from both of these teams so far.
I am just blown away. I mean, both teams do not want to drop out of this tournament. I mean, you can see that so much with their performance. I feel like ALLEXCEED has now gotten more 3-stars, or at least the same amount of 3-stars than all of their matches so far combined on the day. And for Inquisition, they're getting close to that number as well. So this is just crazy how good those teams perform under pressure. But at the same time, the team which is going to lose in the end, because we will have only one team making it to the 2-win and 2-loss group, and the other team is going to drop out of the competition. Just imagine being in that position. Just think about if we would have had this performance one match earlier, we would have not been in this group and we could have stayed in the tournament. Both teams are fighting for the tournament live, and they're doing really, really good so far. Kazu is in, and he's starting with a Sketty Donut. Let's see if he gets that right.
Taking out a clan castle and a monolith right over the wall. The skeletons are on both sides and will get the work done. He gets another little stab against a wizard tower there, but only those 2 key structures was what he really had to go for with that early attack. This is going to be a full Hog Rider army, not going hybrid this time. He'll be focused solely on those defensive structures. He really needs a clear plan then in order to deal with the enemy heroes, which Hogs will not be able to target onto. He did bring 5 headhunters for them, so that is a pretty clear plan. Let's just make sure that everything is lined up appropriately so that it can follow through for victory.
Yeah, and this queen getting targeted by the 2 defenses there has to invest that phrase to keep her healthy. And the queen is moving along towards that scatter, while the king is moving into the town hall, taking that out. This looks like a really solid entry so far, with the king leading the charge with that Valkyrie, with the queen following that golem. The golem just explodes. The headhunter is in there, but is he getting all the value he's looking for? Because we have seen many hawk attacks over the day, but most of them use super hawks.
All right, ready for the setup now. And they're storming on the top left side. Eternal Tome ready to pop immediately as they are deployed very quickly and facing off against a lot of splash damage here. Giant bombs going off under the tome is good news for Kazu, as he won't have to deal with that damage later on. But skeleton traps are now engaging the Hog Riders as they try to make their way through this base, catching quite a few Tesla traps over the top right side here. He drops a freeze, but I think it's a little bit too late to save the Hogs over on that side. He's going to have to rely on the World Champion to make the stab up to the top, and her ability has already been burned, and there's no queen that I can see at this point. I think she's been knocked out. Kazu is running really low on offense, and there's still so much base left here, Itsu.
Yeah, there's a lot of base left, and it feels like, I don't want to say it, but this might be maybe the first defense. I mean, at this point, I don't see that there's a miracle run of any troop making it. Like, maybe there's the owl, but that would be a really crazy chain for this owl to finish off the base. But this should be the first defense.
Hold on, because the owl is working with the unicorn now.
I mean, pets OP. No, well, like, that owl is not going to make it, especially not in time. This is a really solid defense, and now Inquisition need to transition this into a solid offense and into a lead if they really want to get into the next round. And I mean, so far both teams are doing really good, but this is like the first sign of like stress or maybe weakness. We will see, but Inquisition has to take this chance.
On its own, a 2-star 78% is a pretty significant slip up, but especially in a war that has been this tight so far, for your team to be tied up and then you are responsible for leading off the late war, just that 2-star 78 is going to be quite a miss. Stefan from Inquisition would be happy with pretty much anything that's better than a 2-star 78%, because then at least his team would have the final say and the opportunity to get that clean win. Bats up top are going to be distracting this Monolith, but it catches a Tesla farm, which could cause some problems for Stefan here. He doesn't have enough firepower to overcome this big clump up at the top. Battle Bump's going to be storming straight through him, though, and drops a lot of bombs in here, catching also a lot of Seeking Air Mines. Goodness, grits and gravy. There are a lot of traps in that top corner, Itsu.
There are a lot of traps indeed, but those grounds, I mean, maybe the ground skeletons are going to distract the dragons a little bit, but no, he's trying to lure them away, which has not really worked. He has another archer. Come on, deploy. Okay, he's trying to lure them now into the dragon. They could really mess things up for him pathing-wise, and the dragons are staying behind. The dragon riders are flying in front, and this is going to be a problem as the damage is just missing. The dragons are not following those dragon riders, and this now is not what they were hoping for, as the entire core is going to survive.
The Warden is just not even protecting the Dragon Riders now. He's just so far behind trying to keep these dragons up. He did not get in there to protect them with that life aura, which, I mean, in a war where we have seen so many attacks come down to the wire with troops barely surviving to the final stages of the hit, those traps up top were just an excellent setup for Kazu, who just really clearly saw that. I mean, that would be a very easy point of entry to try to grab the Town Hall first for multiple different attack strategies. But is it going to be enough to deny 78%? That was the bar set by ALLEXCEED with their last attack. And as long as Stefan can come in with more than 78%, his team will still have the clear opportunity to finish for a win.
Yeah, the Royal Champion going in from the bottom side, taking down the Eagle right away is really smart, because this means then the percentage can be picked up slowly, as he has still like 1 minute left. The Ice Golems on that. Wow. I mean, the Expo going down with the last spear of that Royal Champion, making sure the Queen can get healed up again and can move forward into that base to pick up more percentage is massive for them, because now you can just use the Queen ability, pick up even more buildings, because the ability has not been burned earlier, and the Warden picking up some more buildings, and this is going to be for sure a higher percentage. So even though both teams are failing to get the 3-star, we have an Inquisition in the lead because of percentage.
This is a pretty rare circumstance where I think if I were playing spotter for an attack like this, I would absolutely say that this is the sort of attack that you would want to pivot from any sort of 3-star attempt to get that Queen along the outer edge and try to pick up as much percentage as possible. That triple multi-inferno right in the core with so many walls to try to hop over would just be too much for the Queen to be able to finish off. But as it stands, Stefan is going to be walking away with a low 90%, looks like 92, 93%. 2-star, and that is going to be a very nice position indeed for Inquisition to be in. Even if ALLEXCEED managed to get the triple, Inquisition could still come back in over the top with a triple of their own, and I mean, anything short of a 3-star leaves Inquisition in a very easy spot to close this one out for a win.
Yeah, that's for sure indeed. But we'll see what is happening next, as this, I feel like so far, has to be our closest match of the day in this broadcast, at least. Arazi is going to be the last attacker for ALLEXCEED, and there is just so much pressure on the line. This could be possibly the last attack for his team in this World Championship for this entire year. Everything depends on this attack, and he needs a 3-star to put up the pressure on Inquisition to really make sure that they need to 3-star as well. And, well, scouting early with some Barbarians for traps as he's trying to go for that Zap Titan approach with the Warden Walk on the far right side.
So just a reminder to you all at home, there's a 14% destruction advantage in Inquisition's favor. ALLEXCEED are looking for a 3-star here to give them a shot at winning on stars, because even with the triple, Inquisition could still get the victory depending upon how their next attack goes. If it does wind up coming down to percentage, Inquisition do have a very strong lead that Arazi is going to do his best to try to whittle away at here. Flameflinger is a very long-range, long-lasting siege machine, so he is going to try to go the distance now with this Electro Titan Smash. That can end up with a couple of witches as well. This one could really go down to the wire, but he's got a clear entry point here from this right side, and it's going to be trying to pierce deep into a base with a well-protected town hall. So it's all about getting a good jump in here, shutting down this CC really quickly as the rocket loons are coming out and dropping right over the Electro Titans. But Itsu, what are you watching?
The Queen has gone the wrong way. She's now going for the town hall, which might be not the worst thing to happen as she's taking it down, but this was not planned for sure, as now pretty much nothing can really target this Monolith. He has to send the Royal Champion in really soon to take that defense out, because right now the Titans, and especially the King, they're suffering quite a bit. There goes the Royal Champion now. The defensive King is onto that Siege Machine, and with the Titans trying their best to tank, he's keep moving forward. Their Titans are insanely tanky. There's another Titan reinforcing the troops from the Siege Machine. Everything is relying on this scatter compartment. Can it hold? Can it defend? Or is this going to be the 3-star?
That was just such an unfortunate and awkward reposition for the Queen to pull the King over, and then Arazi to be a little bit late on the Headhunters to shut down the King, who then finished off the Flame Flinger, which then couldn't destroy the multi-target Inferno, which then burnt up a lot of his troops. It was looking a lot more possibly to be a 3-star until this scattershot compartment wound up being the last layer of defense here. It's now taken down pets, minions, popping away at this Yeti next. I mean, there's a couple of Electro Titans that are getting healed up to a pretty high point, but only 25 seconds left and still several defenses to have to chew through. They are not very quick, Itsu, and this is seeming like ALLEXCEED are going to be short of the 3-star.
Yeah, this looks like another defense for Inquisition. Now it comes down to percentage. They don't need the 3-star anymore, but they still need a solid percentage. I think, what did you say? I think it was like 14% advantage, right?
It was a 14% advantage for Inquisition, but with now a 96% 2-star, Arazi has done almost all he could to give his team a chance at winning. With 96% there, it looks like... I guess doing the quick maths here, we would need 90%. Is that right? No. What is the math on that?
82 for a tie, if those 14% points were correct. Like 82 for a tie,
right?
Or like 83 for a win then.
Okay, yeah, 83 for the win.
Okay, Max is saying 83 2-star to win. Yeah, exactly. So if Maxi says this, we are completely right, as he knows the numbers, and we are in. The last attack is live. It's Zap Lalo versus this base of Hamu. Fabian is in. There is just so much pressure on this attack, as this could be possibly the last attack for them in the World Championship. If they 3-star, or like if they get the 83% 2-star, they are making sure that they have yet another match tomorrow then to fight for their seed in the 3rd stage of the championship qualifier.
Barbarian King swinging away at that Eagle and takes it down before it can even activate. Log Launcher will also roll through and get quite a bit of splash damage, knocking apart an enemy multi-target Inferno and rolling through several walls. We've got a Queen as well with a Unicorn to keep her topped off the top side with an Ice Golem to freeze that enemy scattershot and slow things down quite a bit. Fabian is setting up for that Law Loon and just needs to get the 2-star 83% to secure victory for his squad. It is going to be quite a bit of spell support as well to move in deep and heavy against this base. Lots of easy buildings to be able to snipe along the outer edge for percentage, and it's looking like Fabian has got a very good chance of making this happen, Itsu.
Yeah, he has gotten so much value with the 0 dive. The Lava Hound might be the only problem, as he still has the Royal Champion. So the Lava Hound is going to follow the Royal Champ, so it would be really hard to make good use of that hero. But there goes the freeze, making sure the Rage Tower is not getting triggered early on. A lot of Hounds are going in, as I can fully understand. If he gets that Town Hall, this is looking really good to get the percentage which is needed. Early Warden ability, he has still a couple of Loons to reinforce. He still has the Royal Champion to get those percentage, but the Tornado Trap, Woody, is not making sure that the Town Hall is going down.
Lots of damage on those Loons. The Tornado Trap spins him around. A freeze goes out, but it's not going to be enough. The Town Hall is standing. Big, heavy beams burning apart these balloons. And the elimination next for the Grand Warden. Last shot from Hell's Heart. I stab at thee. The Royal Champion is in, tossing her spear, but distracted now. The shield is out. Can she eliminate this Lava Hound and refocus in time? There is a poison spell Fabian can add on top to try to get rid of these pups, but that Inferno Beam is just heating up way too hot and heavy. Fabian needed only a 2-star, 83%, but cannot get the second one down.
No way. He had the skeleton spell, he had the archers, he could have lured out the hound to the outside and take that out early on. He would have got the 2-star. It looks like he would have even gotten the percentage if he would have taken the time. I don't know what was going on. Maybe the spotter was not really calling him that. It feels like they just panicked and sent the Royal Champion in for the Town Hall, completely forgetting about the Lava Hound. It was an 83%, which was needed. And instead, it is going to be a disaster for Inquisition. And this means they're out of this year's World Championship with a 1